What is good, everyone? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE News video. Today we're going to be discussing Warriors Orochi 4, Blade Strangers adding some familiar faces to the cast, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze port being handled by Retro Studios. So let's go ahead and get right into this. And we are starting off with Warriors Orochi 4 is set to be released on PC, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch, and has 170 playable characters. So let's go ahead and get right into the information when it comes to what you can expect from this title. The Weekly Famitsu had a roundup of info. A PC version of the Warriors Orochi 4 will also be released, albeit at a later date than the console versions in Japan, so it still could launch day and date here in the West. Of the 170 playable characters in Warriors Orochi 4, 5 are new and have still yet to be revealed. The enemy this time is Zeus. The 5 new characters are likely to be chosen from the 12 Olympians such as Athena and Poseidon. The new Divine Art action system adds new elements such as Divine Arts and more. Collaboration characters such as Ryu Hayabusa will not appear in this game. Now let's go ahead and get into a little bit more of what you can expect from this when it comes to combat and other things. Familiar controls such as square plus square and square plus square triangle will return for combos. Progressing through one side of the story gives you key characters that will become available for use, and by meeting certain conditions during battle, their appearance and actions will power up. The game uses a 3-person per group system. Elements like free mode will be included. Share multiplayer, likely meaning single Joy-Con per player, is still under consideration for the Nintendo Switch version, mainly because there's a lack of buttons. Warriors Orochi 4 is targeting a fall release in Japan. Development is currently 50% complete. So it seems like everything is going according to plan when it comes to Koei Tecmo and their support for the Nintendo Switch and growing support for the PC platform as well, because this was originally announced, Warriors Orochi 4, before I can get a video on it, as just the PlayStation 4 and also the Nintendo Switch. However, the PC version is coming a little bit later in Japan, but I'm guessing that once this game is released in the West, worldwide, that the PC, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch will all be day and date, and I'm guessing that they're going to add the Xbox One system into that, just like they did for Attack on Titan 2, where it wasn't released on the Xbox One in Japan, but it was released on the Xbox One here in the US. So I'm guessing they're going to do that in the West, and Japan just doesn't matter because the Xbox is an irrelevant platform there. It's barely sold anything at all. So one thing that I do want to note with this is that it's cool that Koei Tecmo is continuing their great support of the Nintendo Switch platform. We're getting their biggest games pretty much day and date, and really the only game that we haven't got day and date with other platforms was, I think it was Dynasty Warriors 9. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 9. I think they're just too deep into development with that one, but we still could get a port down the line. They've been porting a lot of other different games to Nintendo Switch, but stuff like Knights of Azure 2, we also got Attack on Titan 2, all those came day and date. We got some awesome Musou games coming up as well. For example, like Fire Emblem Warriors that came out last year, has sold over 1 million units, and Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, that game is coming out very soon here as well in the West, and I think that game's going to do very well because of all the cards that you get in there with the season pass and things like that. So awesome stuff all around from Koei Tecmo. Warriors Orochi 4, I played the one before on the Wii U, and I didn't think it was very good in terms of the last one. I think it was Warriors Orochi 3, the Hyper or whatever it was. Like, I played that one, and it wasn't very good on the Wii U, but it was good, I guess, if you played it on other systems. I don't think it was bad, but on the Wii U, it just wasn't that great, although I still played it, and I had some fun here and there. So I'm looking forward to this. I always test out Koei Tecmo's games. They're really cool, so I'll probably be getting a review code for this one, playing it, seeing how it just kind of works, and letting you guys know how I feel about the game when it launches. Now, it still could be a while though for the West because it's coming out this fall in Japan, so that means it might take a little bit of time for some localization, or maybe they do get it done in 2018 for the West, but I don't know about that. We'll just have to wait and see in terms of the localization and everything. But I'm excited for more Koei Tecmo support. I'll be more than happy to show off what they have for us because they've been fantastic on the Nintendo Switch since it launched, really. I mean, they've been really supportive and good with the system, with most of their games coming to the platform. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how the game does on the Nintendo Switch. So what do you guys think about Warriors Orochi 4 coming over to the platform, Nintendo Switch, PC, PS4, at least in Japan? We have to wait for those Western platforms as well, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, now moving on to the next topic here. We've got some new characters and some familiar faces that are added into Blade Strangers, the fighting game for the PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So Blade Strangers adds quote from Cave Story Plus and Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt. So check this out, guys. Quote from Cave Story Plus will be playable in the upcoming crossover fighting game Blade Strangers, Nicholas has announced. Now, there was previously 11 announced characters, but then when you add in Gunvolt and also you add in quote, the roster is growing and growing. Now, we still have some more guest characters that they're going to announce, but after looking at some of this stuff here, quote looks amazing. Quote looks amazing, and Gunvolt looks amazing. You guys all know how I feel about Azure Striker Gunvolt. I like the game more than I like Mega Man. I love that game. So seeing his combos here, along with Quote, which Quote has a fantastic character design in Blade Strangers. His character design looks so much better than his actual game in terms of where he comes from. At least like the pixelated version of all that. I know they have like the 3D one where he has like a better model and all that stuff, but he looks fantastic in here. I love the scarf design, and the look of Quote looks fantastic. And Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt, he looks amazing. He looks absolutely amazing. I love what they did with Gunvolt. He looks awesome in this game. His combos look hype. I love the electricity that he has and how you can shock people with it. It's just looking great. Blade Strangers is looking like a phenomenal game that's really going to catch a lot of people by surprise by how good the game is when it launches. We've had the opening cinematics that we've talked about. We've had the different characters, the combo system that they're going for, and Nicholas is not slowing down when it comes to the support of the Nintendo Switch. This game is dropping this summer, PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. It's going to be $39.99, so not bad at all. But it's going to be a fully featured fighting game with rankings, with online, with practice mode, single player, all that's going to be included in the game. It's going to be a complete experience. You got some cool crossover characters. You got some of my favorite characters out here with Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt. So I'm really excited about this game, and I think it's going to be a high quality release when it launches this summer on the Nintendo Switch. Now, one thing to note with this, guys, is I really want to see what they do with the rest of the characters, because we still have some more familiar crossover characters that they're teasing. So who else could join the fray? Could Shovel Knight be in here? I think Shovel Knight is a possibility based on them releasing Quote, and now you have Azure Striker Gunvolt or Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt. So I think Shovel Knight might be a possibility in this one, guys. And if Shovel Knight comes in there, then I think a lot more people are going to be interested in this than before. But I do feel that, once again, we have to wait and see on that one. But there still is a couple more characters that they're going to be announcing, and maybe Shovel Knight is one of them. So what other independent characters do you guys think that they can add in, or characters from different franchises that they're associating with when it comes to Nicholas? I mean, could Isaac from the Binding of Isaac be in there? I mean, that's a possibility as well, although he's really tiny, isn't he? They'd have to make him look really weird, so I don't know about that. Or at least the art style that he's in his game is really tiny. I think he'd look weird if he was like big like everyone else. I mean, that would just look scary. But yeah, maybe he's in there. I mean, you don't know what they're going to do. We still need to wait and see, but I'm excited about it nonetheless. So what do you guys think about these characters? Quote from Cave Story Plus, also Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, now moving on to the final topic here. Retro Studios handled the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze port on the Nintendo Switch, and it's funny because a lot of people have started to make their own assumptions on this, and I think a lot of people for the most part are joking, but people are saying, oh, well, this was their game, we're not going to see another one in years, or saying stuff like, oh, well, why did they do this? I mean, why didn't like Nintendo take this to someone else in order to get it ported? Well, I've already said this multiple times, and I'll go ahead and say it again. Whenever they do ports like this, it's handled by very, very small teams. Retro Studios, which Miyamoto said years ago, is already big enough to have multiple projects going on at one time. So I'm pretty sure that they took a few staffers, left them in terms of what their project that they're working on, their unannounced project. They said, hey, you guys go ahead and put together this Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze port. They added a Funky Kong mode. I mean, they didn't really add a ton of different things, so I don't think it took a lot of extra resources or anything like that. I mean, you still got to test and everything and make sure it works and the game doesn't break by adding that stuff when it comes to Funky Kong and everything. And there's still some other additions as well. I mean, optimizations, loading times, things like that, resolution. You got to do a lot of other stuff. But I don't think that they like broke the resource bank when they decided to put them on this one here. Probably 20 people, maybe even less than that. Get this game ported over to Nintendo Switch, which is really easy to port over, especially if you're taking Wii U games and putting them over on the Nintendo Switch. We've seen that from various different developers, whether it's at Nintendo or outside of Nintendo, like Bandai Namco with Pokken Tournament. So I do feel that this one here isn't really going to be a detriment to their next game. Some people are saying, oh, well, this maybe foreshadows that they're working on another Donkey Kong Country game. And I would say, yeah, I guess I can see why people can think that, but probably not. Now, I don't have any information, guys, but I'll just say probably not when it comes to that. But You never know. Retro is one of those developers that takes their time. Obviously, you don't get a lot of retro games in a good amount of time. I mean, you might get one Retro Studios game in a generation. We haven't seen a lot of them. I know the Wii, we got 2 of them. GameCube, we got a couple of them, but it's been a while because the Wii U, we got 1. We got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and I think we maybe would have got more if it wasn't for the Wii U flopping so bad in sales. So I think we would have got more, but just the Wii U flopped, so what can you do? But even like with the Wii, we didn't really get much outside of that. I mean, unless they handled the in-house port of Metroid Prime Trilogy to the Wii U, then that would be 2 games, but that would just be a port of what they've done beforehand. But we'll have to wait and see, right? We'll have to wait and see in terms of what Retro has to offer for us. But I think that whatever they end up doing, I think it's going to shock people in good and bad ways. I think it's just going to be like, wow, they're doing that. Like, okay, great, but wow, it's that, or they're doing this type of game. I mean, I'm excited to see what it's going to be. It's always a shock when it comes to Retro. It takes a while and it's always a shock, but I do think that whatever they end up doing, it's going to be hype. I think it's going to be a lot of hype. I think it's going to be fun. And I just don't know if it's going to be a new IP or if it's going to be a classic IP. I mean, it could be both. I mean, maybe they're doing 2 games, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. So what do you guys think about Retro Studios? What do you guys think about Blade Strangers adding in some cool characters, and also Warriors Orochi 4 coming to the Switch, PS4, and PC? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace!